So after redesigning Bloom from my previous video, I couldn't help myself. I had to redesign Stella. I think she and Bloom are best friends. I'm not too sure on that, but what I am sure on is that without Stella, Bloom wouldn't have even be a fairy in the first place, or she wouldn't have discovered that she was a fairy. We were introduced to Stella in the first episode while she was being attacked by that yellow ogre guy. But without Stella, we wouldn't have had the Bloom we have now. So I guess we could say that Bloom really owes a lot to this girl. But anyways, we'll go get started on the video, and as per usual, I will explain all the design process as we go on. Now, let's just get into it. From what I've remembered in the show, Stella is the princess of Solaria. She's also the princess of the sun and moon, and she is the fairy of the shining sun. We can assume that the majority of her powers would have then come from her dad, King Radius, because she is the fairy of the shining sun, which makes me think that the majority of her powers, or her main powers, is relating to the sun. So we don't really get much of the moon stuff from her mum or from her. So for this redesign, I was looking to add a bit more of the moon part on her design, whilst keeping the sun vibes on her design as well, because predominantly she is a sun fairy. We can see that the majority of her powers do come from the sun, and without the sun she becomes weak. I can't remember which exact season it was. It's between season 2 or season 3 when they met Layla or Aisha and they went down into this underground cave, or I think it was an underground kingdom. And in that episode, we saw that while Stella was underground, she was very weak and she couldn't keep her fairy form. She had to go outside again and absorb the energy of the sun in order to regain her powers and energy back, which tells me that predominantly her powers are the sun. I'm not very sure if she inherited any powers from her mum or has any powers relating to the moon. Which is why I wasn't too keen on doing a half and half type of design, where a part of her design is all about the moon and a part is all about the sun. We can see from the series that her powers is the sun. So I wanted to stick to that concept. The second thing is that she is a princess. I would have kind of assumed that her fairy form, even though it's the first foundation basic form, I would have wanted it to be a bit more celestial and royal. Of course, she's also quite the fashionista, so I would have expected her outfit to be a bit more glammed than how it is in the original series. What we can see right now is that Stella is wearing a crop top with a pair of shorts, knee-high boots with something on her arms. I think those are arm guards. It doesn't really scream princess. If we were never told that Stella was a princess and she stood side by side with the other Winx members who aren't princesses, I wouldn't have been able to tell that she was a princess. So I wanted to give her an outfit that stands out or is different compared to the other fairies in her group that aren't princesses. And what I thought is that I should make her look like a goddess, particularly a Greek goddess. Now, this decision was purely for aesthetic purposes. I have no factual reasons on why she would wear it's called a peplos, by the way. So, in ancient Greece, a lot of Greek goddesses were actually depicted wearing what it's called a peplos, which is basically a long rectangular type of garment that goes normally down to the ankles, but there were so many different styles of it that you can have some that are a bit shorter, you can have some with slits, some of them have different types of alignments and stuff, different types of fabrics that they're made out of, those kind of things. And I lied from earlier. There is one factual reason on why I decided to put Stella in a peplos. And that's under the assumption, a personal assumption, that her family has been ruling Solaria for a very, very long time. So to symbolize that, I would have thought that she would have a bit more of a ancient, traditional type of fairy outfit instead of the modern ones. And just to tip my hat to the original design, I did end up giving her a skirt under her peplos as well. Although this is not traditional, perhaps this is a kind of statement from Stella stating that she's transitioning out of traditionalism to modernism. But just do bear in mind that her peplos is not going to be too similar to the ancient Greeks' peplos. Her one would be a bit shorter, and I've added a ribbon around her waist as well. And just so that the Greek vibe or ancient Greek vibe keeps going, for her wings, I made it slightly different as well compared to a regular fairy's wings. Again, I would have thought that she's this princess, her wings would have been shaped a bit more differently, just so that she looks a bit more different compared to other fairies. So I made her wings have a more feathery type design to kind of resemble angel wings, without it being actual angel wings. They'll still be fairy wings, but the outlines within the wings kind of resembles feathers. So now she kind of looks like a phoenix. And the thing is, I really do love the contrast in her original design, where she had some blues to complement the oranges. I think the cool colours are a great nod to her mum, who is the queen of the moon, but this is what I was talking about earlier, where I didn't want the moon designs to completely overtake the sun designs, because she is a sun fairy. But as for her crown, I did want to make it gold originally, but that was gonna blend in way too well with her hair, which is why I gave her a blue silvery crown instead. Perhaps she inherited that crown from her mum. And here we are with the final design. I hope you guys enjoyed the process, and if you guys want me to redesign the other Winx characters, let me know in the comments below, and let me know who you want me to redesign next. As promised in my previous videos before, I will be doing a continuation of the My Little Pony designs, so stick around to see those when they come out. But if you guys have any other suggestions for characters you'd like me to redesign, feel free to just let me know as well. And if you guys want to have a crack at redesigning the Winx yourself, do tag me in TikTok as well. My TikTok is in the description below. But I would really love to see what you guys come up with. I've seen a lot of other redesigns already and they look really good, and I'm obsessed. So I'm begging you, please feed into my obsession. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Please do like and subscribe for more of these content in the future, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.